Sewing saved my life. And I'm not even kidding. 2 years ago, I had to flee for my life from the ex who was an addict. And I knew this going into the relationship, that he had previous experiences with drugs and he was in recovery. And I trusted the recovery, but with addicts, that can be very short-lived, as I came to understand. He was fucked up and raging. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and one of the bedrooms was my office because I worked from home at that time. And not only was it my office for work, it was also my office for all of my crafts. And I remember not wanting to interact with him at all and retiring to my office with the cats, sorting my fabric. That literally saved my life. We were fighting a lot. I knew it was getting to the end. He was also a narcissist. So, narcissist, addict, that combination is not good. I learned so much and have done a lot of educating myself after the fact about that combination. God, the universe, the creator, however you want to refer to the energy, came in literally one day and said, you should check out estate sales online. So for some reason, seemingly randomly, aka divine intuition, inspired me to go on this auction website, and I started looking through all of these listings, and all of a sudden I found heaps of fabric and nobody had bid on them. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe what I was finding, and I was like, holy moly, this fabric is incredible, and nobody knows about it, but I do. So I bid on it, and I ended up getting like a carload of fabric for pennies on the dollar. I hauled it all back home, hauled it into my little office, and proceeded to go through it and sort it. And I would just lock myself in there because he worked later in the day. Like, in the mornings, I would just like lock myself in there, sort my fabric, be in the energy of creating in my energy with my cats. And that fabric saved me so much trouble, I think, because if I hadn't been in there sorting that fabric, who knows what sort of interaction we would have had. Coming back into my own power, my own space and power, knowing that the universe has my back. Like, God has my back, right? The divine has my back, and it comes to me in the form of sewing and fabric. And that's why I know that this is my mission, and why, even though I'm scared shitless building Soft Muse Collective right now, I am moving forward strongly. I'm having faith in myself. I am creating my life that I've always dreamed of, and I'm not letting any noise get in the way. The day I left him, we had a fight, and I left and went over to my mom's, and I had left the cats there, which I was like really freaked out about. And when I went back to the apartment, he had literally torn down everything from the walls, the bookcases. He tore everything down, and like it was on the ground. And I remember, because I had left the cats in my office, I remember because he was texting me saying it was too hot in there and then he was gonna let them out. I remember coming in the door, cute kitty walks out of that room and she's like, what the fuck? Both of my cats were like, we need to get out of here. So that's what I did. My mom and brother helped me grab the cats and my baseline things, and I fled to a really shitty hotel that actually gave me so much peace. It smelled like complete shit in there, but I felt so relieved that like I was actually getting out of that domestic violence situation, because that's what it was. His mom, in the spirit of like narcissistic generational lines, was like a total enabler, but she was also a nurse, and I had been communicating with her And one of his brothers, like the whole time when I saw him going into the addict craze, he was literally in a psychosis. Like when my mom and brother and I walked out of there, my brother almost beat his ass, but thankfully he didn't. I was just like, come on, let's go. He was running out of our apartment building towards us after I had gotten in the car. He was a crazed lunatic. And in that moment, it's like, how could I even let this happen? But I've worked through a lot of that with my therapist, which I'm grateful for. And I think which is why I can come on here and not be like a total shit show and talk about it. But his mom actually ended up going and filing some sort of something because he was calling her saying he was gonna like end himself, all that. And so she got him admitted to a psych ward. She filed some sort of something. She was trying to tell me to go do it. I was like, no, I am staying in this hotel. If you want to save your son, you can go and do whatever the fuck you need to do. But I am staying here. I'm not going anywhere right now. And she went and filed something that got him admitted to a psych ward. And they kept him in the psych ward for like 2 weeks. I mean, I didn't know when he was getting out. Nobody knew when he would be getting out. So that's when I took the initiative to get my shit out of there. I moved into the place that I'm at now. I like found the most affordable place that I could find. Thankfully, I had been doing research for a few months about new places because thank God my intuition has my back. My spirit team has my back. The angels, guides. I have a very strong higher source of support. And I always have, and I'm so grateful for it in my life because it's what helps me get from point A to point B when it's really hard in between. So because he had gotten admitted to that psych ward, I was able to safely get myself out of there. I had to like still work with him to get off the lease when he got out. I ended up paying all the buyout fees. Like I ended up paying for everything to get us out of there because I didn't care at that point. And his sorry ass tries to come after me after the fact, saying that I owed him money. That I texted his mom and said, you and your son need to get the fuck away from me. Tell him to leave me alone. I am done. Because it takes a second to get your strength back after you go through a situation like that. When you're in a domestic violence situation, it takes a second. But I eventually bucked up. I found myself again. I found my power again. And knowing that I could attract that fabric in such a desperate place, and the sewing, how it like literally saved my life in that office, sorting the fabric that I'm making everything with right now. I'm so grateful that I'm free and that I played my cards right. Even when I was getting all my shit out of there, I organized all of his stuff nicely in one of the rooms. Like, I didn't break anything. I didn't keep anything. Now is the time for my divine compensation to come through because I have lived a life dictated by other people's issues. And I'm done. I've done so much work to heal my own issues, let those generational toxic ties that bind go so that I can thrive and be free. Now I have like the most beautiful fabric in a safe place with my cats. I'm sustaining myself by allowing myself to shine brighter than I've ever shone before and to receive more than I have ever allowed myself to receive. And this sewing, slow fashion, creating, creativity comes from such a space of divinity for me. It's my sacred space. It saved me in many ways, but I wanted to tell you about the breakup and how fabric and sewing played a part in my safety and giving me the inspiration to take myself back. And now I'm making all these beautiful things to share with the world because I was able to set myself free.